So, John, one of the terms that gets a lot of attention when you talk about smaller nations and island nations is the term elite capture, and how China uses elite capture to compete with us in these places. What is elite capture, and how does it differ from the U.S. approach, and what are its strengths and weaknesses?
Ray, elite capture is just a fancy term for corruption. Little red bags of money that are passed to politicians at dinners and receptions and national days. We should call it what it is. Elite capture sounds something academic, something that perhaps people don't understand. Well, you know what? It's corruption. And I think anyone can understand that. Um, you know, Chinese are using their influence, their money, to buy off politicians across the Pacific. They're using money to try to influence elections across the Pacific. This idea of elite capture is particularly problematic in the Pacific because think about it. These places are small. Palau has less than 20,000 people, for example. Parliament is maybe 50 people. If you can swing a couple of people through elite capture, you can change the direction of that country. You saw it in Fiji. Fiji's had a history of political instability. It doesn't take a lot. A few guys and a few guns can take over parliament in these Pacific Islands. And so there is a real challenge there. We do not play that game. The PRC does not play by the rules. And elite capture is a real risk. Even in these democratic nations of the Pacific, whenever there's an election, it's a concerning time because how should I put it? A little bit of money goes a long way in the islands, and there's real concerns about these activities that weaken good governance and the structures of government. And let's be frank, corruption takes place in every country, including our own, in the United States. But when you have a small population and an even smaller group of elected officials or influential officials, and don't forget, in the Pacific, it's not just the elected officials. You're talking religious leaders, you're talking chiefs and clans and clan leaders. It only takes a small amount of people at the very top to completely change direction for a country. And these countries, as we said, matter to the United States.